talks with America and the H-1B visa row. Commerce and Industry Minister Mr. Goyal, while addressing an event in New York, has gone on to say, we expect to increase trade with US on energy products in the years to come. And while speaking on the H-1B visa issue, he also said that India has a pool of talent. First, listen in to his exact comments.
The world recognizes that this is one area where we all have to work together. India is a big player in the energy field, as Pankaj just mentioned. We are big importers of energy from across the world, including from the US. We expect to increase our trade with the US on energy products in the years to come. And being close friends, natural partners, our energy security goals will have a very high element of US involvement, which will ensure price stability, which will ensure diversified sources of energy for India, and help us unlock limitless possibilities with the US on various fronts, energy and beyond. We also provide a huge amount of talent and innovation for which Indian engineers and Indian graduates are famous. That also provides us an opportunity to provide solutions for corporations across the world, including in the US, to support their growth plans, to support their plans to focus on new research and development, new ideas. The startup ecosystem in India is very vibrant. A lot of new companies coming up with right ideas which go beyond the traditional renewable energy sources. And I think in some sense what we are seeing in India today is convenient action, something that Prime Minister Modi had articulated in 2010 as the Chief Minister of Gujarat.
My colleague Aman Sharma now joins us on the broadcast along with my colleague Sanjay, who's with us on the broadcast. Aman, coming to you first. India's response becomes very, very imperative. There is that statement by Piyush Goyal. He has touched upon both the issues, whether it is about trade with the US or the H-1B visa issue, which is quite hot at the moment. Zelensky is batting for India. He's asking the European allies to vouch for India. But Trump says otherwise. Do we see a more stronger response from the Indian side now?
See, Greha, I think Piyush Goyal's statement where he's saying that, we expect to increase the trade with the US on energy products in the years to come should be seen as I would say, a more conciliatory statement. And this is in line with what Prime Minister Modi also said when he had visited the US last in February and had met Donald Trump. In fact, India has been balancing its, energy requirements, energy imports in that way. The latest figures, for example, since last month said that India had increased its energy purchases from the US since Donald Trump returned to office, with the crude oil imports surging nearly 51%, in the first half of 2025. And this energy buying also reflected, Delhi's commitment to rebalance the trade ties with Washington, which has been a key demand, of the Trump administration. We import a lot of LNG from the US, which is also that supply imports have almost doubled, in the last financial year, up to almost $2.46 billion, if I remember the figure correctly. And, this surge, Greha, comes from this February agreement between Mr. Modi and Mr. Trump. Both leaders had committed to expanding the energy cooperation. India, in fact, pledged to boost energy exports from America to $25 billion, from $15 billion last year. So bilateral trade is also targeted by India to more than double to $500 billion with the US by 2030. So the commitment has very much been there. Yes, these 50% tariffs came as a blip, but now Mr. Piyush Goyal's trip to the US, his meetings there, I think are making it very clear that India wants to fast track, the bilateral trade deal, which will solve a lot of issues. The H-1B visa, quickly, I think India is definitely concerned about that, because effectively US is shutting its door to any new fresh Indian techies going there, with this $100,000 entry fee, which they are in a way asking for. The average job payment in the US to an H1B Indian techie is about $60,000, $70,000. So it is very unlikely that any fresh applications will see the light of the day, because it's very difficult for them to get a job. And that also, when H1B, Greha, now the new rules which are coming in from yesterday, they are saying that in the lottery system also, the ones with the higher pay, may get more chits into the lottery system. The ones at the lower pay may only get one chit. So this is only making things more difficult for, I think, Indian techies to now go to the US afresh. And that is why Mr. Piyush Goyal is saying that, India is a powerhouse of talent, and, in a way, a silver lining maybe for India, that our talent stays in India and helps us build our economy.
Right, Aman. Thank you so much for that perspective. Sanjay, about the H1B visa, I wanted to understand, since you are in New York, what exactly is the sentiment of many of the Indians who are settled there? What do they have to say about it? And about this entire India-China question, and considering Trump goes on and continues to go after India about purchasing oil from Russia, the standing up to the statements has come in from China, because China has now announced, fresh visa to Indians who are more than welcome to come into China and work there. There are countries like UK making those announcements. Where does India stand?
On the H1B visa, certainly the Indian community here is concerned, for the simple reason that the H1B visa goes mostly to Indians. 3 out of 4 of these visas go to Indians, and the US is populated with a very large number of very high caliber techies who are in the US on this visa. The question now is, should more come in or not? I mean, that is not a view for them to take, but certainly this is something of great concern to them, and potentially there could be issues arising even for renewals of those who have the H1B visa and who are already in the US. We have a clarification that the new rules will not apply to new applicants, but come the time for an extension of visa, when the current H1B visa runs out, there could be new issues in the way for them too, because every other day there are new rules being announced, new tightening being announced. So nobody here is confident that they are safe, even if they are here already on the H1B visa. On the issue of China, clearly China has been holding its position quite firm. India has sought to explain its views, its ways, and we have also heard from Piyush Goyal that there could be some movement here. And from what Piyush Goyal has said, we may have the glimmer of an answer to the solution ahead. That certainly India cannot buy as much corn from the US as Howard Lutnick would like India to. Certainly dairy products are out of the question for India. That's a red line for India, that's immovable. But where India could move is on buying more oil. India has already pledged, and this was, as we just heard, in February, India pledged to buy more oil, and Indian oil imports from the US have gone up, as have LNG imports, but these could go up further and exponentially as a way of settling the tariff issue with the US.
Right, Sanjay, thank you so much for that perspective as well. And with that, we are in fact getting some more breaking news. Remember